Hello. Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Nice and early. Can everybody hear me and see me okay? Those of you who are in here now? Great. So we have a few more minutes. So drink some coffee, relax, and we'll start soon.
This captioning sucks.
Hello, everybody. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay, see me okay, and the captions are working on your screen. Please let me know. And we're gonna get started in a couple minutes. Right on 9 at the dot.
Naomi, if that's you, how can I eliminate, are the videos showing up on my screen sharing?
The videos, no.
Okay, so I'm just looking at small videos, right?
Right. You are just looking at them.
All right, so as long as that's my.
Yeah, they just see the screen share and you. And also I made you the co-host, so you have complete control of everything.
I think this conversation's happening in a different meeting right now.
And
A little confusing. While we wait, feel free to turn on your video and introduce yourself. So I'm not talking to just a video of myself for the next hour.
Good morning. I'm excited to learn about all the different things. I'm Lisa Corliss, by the way.
Hi, Lisa. Thanks for joining us.
Speech supervisor. LDTC, we got a good variety, that's great.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Catherine Venturcelli. I'm a learning consultant, so I'm excited to learn about all the different tech stuff.
Great. I'm excited you're here. Thanks for hopping on. Wow, my water bottle disappears with the background. Pretty cool. So just a couple more minutes. So you all seem to know the drill already. When I'm speaking, just keep yourself on mute to minimize the background noise. And then when you would like to speak, unmute yourself. Hi. Welcome.
Good morning, everybody. We are going to get started in just a couple minutes.
I don't know where that mystery voice is coming from.
ATAC2 is listed as the host.
Okay, so we think it's another meeting on.
Carol, since I see you online, can you do me a favor and just let me know that you can hear me fine?
Naomi? just gonna keep muting them, but that might be an issue. So I apologize in advance if you hear different people, mystery people talking. I don't know.
I just wanted to jump on, maybe try sending them a chat message so that they get an alert.
Good idea. I'm gonna do that right now. Let's see. All right, we'll see what happens. Otherwise, so far so good. And if that's the most of our tech troubles today, I will take it. You never know what's going to happen. All right, so one more minute and we'll get started. Okay, she said she muted them all, so hopefully it won't be an issue. Hi, someone just popped up. How are you?
Good. I was having some tech issues. I heard you ask people to introduce themselves. So my name is Michael Pearson Jr. I'm the Assistant Director for Children's Advocacy at the Arc of New Jersey Family Institute. Good to be here.
Welcome, thanks for coming. All right, let's get started. So unlock the potential of your device. While I'm speaking or someone else is speaking, just keep your microphone muted. That way you can hear me and there's no background noise. And then if you have a question, feel free to pop on. I can't always look at the chat while I'm presenting, it gets a little complicated. So you'll just pop up if you turn your video on, you can ask a question. I will leave time at the end for questions, hopefully, if I don't talk too much during the rest of it. So you can save your questions for the end. Or just chime in, whatever you prefer. So a little bit about myself. I'm the owner of an assistive technology company, AT Solutions LLC. Prior to that, in assistive technology, I was the assistant director of a nonprofit organization, Assistive Technology, and an assistive technology specialist for that organization. And before that, I lived in the education realm. I was a special education teacher in middle and high school, mathematics teacher in high school, and case manager in high school. So I'm ultimately familiar with education. All right, at AT Solutions, we do assistive technology services, evaluations, training, consulting, workshops, professional development, similar to what we're doing today. And then everything is on site, meaning we come to you or we come to your school or remote. So we would be meeting in a Zoom meeting. And then my website's here. I'm going to share you these slides right after the presentation. So you'll have access to them and you can just click on the link. Right, let's dive in. So access features. This is how you access features. So how you turn on accessibility features that I'm going to be talking about today. For the purpose of this presentation, every time you see yellow, I'm talking about Chrome or Chromebook. So Chromebook, everything you're going to be able to get in the Chrome browser as well, with the exception of a few things. So yellow is Chrome and blue is iPad. And similarly, a lot of the iPad things I'm going to talk about today, you can also access on iOS on your iPhone as well. Okay, so for Chrome, on your Chromebook, you're going to select the time in the bottom right of your screen. Then you're going to select the settings icon. And don't worry, you'll have these if I'm going a little too fast. I just want to make sure we get through all the demos. Then on the left side under Advanced, you're going to click on Accessibility. And then Manage Accessibility Features. And then from there, you can scroll down and choose the accessibility features you'd like to use. It is a little complicated. You can make a shortcut in the accessibility features to access this faster right from this menu down here, but the first time you use it, you have to go through all these steps. So don't worry, they are there. Okay, for the iPad, it's a little easier. From the home screen, you're just going to click on Settings. Then from there, you're going to click on the accessibility icon. This used to live in the general section if you have an older iPad or haven't updated in a while. So I'm glad that accessibility now has its own section and the blue man representing. And then from there, you can choose the category and just select the features you'd like to use. Pretty simple. Okay, so technology access. This is kind of a catch-all, but these are the ways to access the screen. So a lot of these are going to be visual access, making things larger, smaller, but some of these will also be physical access as well. So how you access your iPad or Chromebook. So I'm going to start off with a couple demos, and then I'm going to talk about the features after. So this is Screen Magnifier for the Chromebook.
When adjusting the browser zoom, you may have noticed that only the content within the browser itself got larger. If you want to make everything on the screen larger, including your Chrome tabs and app icons on the shelf, just add Shift to the mix. So I hold Control and Shift and press the plus button to make everything larger. I can press Control Shift minus to decrease the size, or Control Shift 0 to reset.
Okay, great. Sorry, I'm drinking so much water. I had a little bit of a cold, so you're wondering why it's hard for me to talk today. Okay, great. So that's just how you zoom in everything on the screen. So this is just a simple keyboard command that a lot of people just don't even know is there. And it can make a big difference if a student's having a hard time clicking on the home button because it's too small. And then next, I'm going to show you the full screen magnifier.
I'll select Enable Full Screen Magnifier. Now the whole screen zooms in, and I can use my mouse cursor to pan around the screen and control what I see. If using a touch screen, I can use 2 fingers together on the screen to pan around.
Oh, it seems like my video froze there for a second. Okay, great. So that's the full screen magnifier. It makes your computer screen 20 times the size as it actually is. So this is a similar feature on the iPad. It's called Zoom. So I'm going to show you Zoom window, but you also can zoom full screen, just like I showed you in the last clip, meaning the whole screen is going to zoom in, and then you can pan around with 3 fingers on the iPad to view the missing portions.
Tap the switch to turn on Zoom. Drag the handle at the bottom of the window zoom lens to move it. When you're done, you can double tap with 3 fingers to close window zoom. Now when you need to zoom in an app, double tap with 3 fingers to open window zoom. Get a closer look.
Okay. So you might know by now, it's been around for a little bit, but you can use a mouse with your iPad. So for those of you who like using your iPad, but you miss the functionality of using a mouse on your computer, you can now do that. Here I am going to demo how to use a mouse with your iPad. To do this, you will need a USB adapter or wireless Bluetooth mouse. Use your mouse just as you would on the computer. You can open applications and point and click. In settings, you can customize the options and change the pointer and style color of your mouse. You can even scroll using the scroll wheel on your mouse by simply moving the mouse over your desired scroll area. I muted myself for a second. Sorry, this is a cool feature and it makes your iPad become like a mini laptop. So, but more portable. Okay, this is voice control, a newer feature. Later, I'm going to show you voice control with dictation, but this is just a sneak peek. If it plays, let's see.
It doesn't need Wi-Fi or cellular data to work. Now you can begin navigating your device with just your voice. Let's go over some basic commands. When voice control is turned on, you'll see a blue microphone at the top left of your screen. Let's go to the home screen. Go home. Swipe left. Tap Notes. What can I say? This is helpful if you ever need a hint. Go back. Let's check out Control Center. Open Control Center. Turn down volume. Perfect.
So this can obviously be very helpful for someone with physical access issues with the screen. They can't click or tap on the screen, a switch isn't working for them, and their speech is clear. Then we build on that strength and try out voice control. All right, so some things I didn't just show you. So mouse cursor size, you can make the cursor larger or smaller, easier to see. I know a lot of students just like doing it because I think it looks cool, but if it makes them work more, then let them do it. And cursor highlighting. So sometimes people lose the little blinking cursor when you're typing, so you can have it highlight with blue wedges around it so you can always see it. High contrast mode, so it's just going to turn everything that's white on the screen to black and everything black to white. So some people find it easier to read with this color contrast or have a hard time differentiating colors in standard mode, so this might be a good option for them. And then there's an on-screen keyboard you can also use. So with touchscreen Chromebooks, it's an on-screen touch keyboard, so it becomes very similar to how you would type on an iPad or tablet. On the iPad, there's also Magnifier. So it's kind of basically the same thing as camera in that when you pull up Magnifier, you can use it to zoom in through the camera lens on anything in front of you. Then you can take still images, kind of like a picture, and then it allows you to zoom in even more from there, but it just has a sleek user interface. You can also change the color too. So if you want to use the magnifier with black text and or white text on a black background, you can do that in Magnifier. Display accommodations. So the iPad has a million display accommodations, from enlarging text size to enlarging icon size, different color filters for different eye conditions, you name it. They're color invert. They also have smart invert. So usually when you invert colors, the pictures look like X-rays and become really hard to understand what's going on. So with smart invert, it keeps pictures colored normally and then everything else on the screen. So it's helpful when using that feature, right? And then lastly, switch access. I mentioned it briefly before. So this would be, if you had two switches, you could use one switch to go to the next item on a screen and another switch to select. Or you can have it just manually scan the screen and you can press the switch to click on an item. So this can be a little tedious for some people to use. So now that voice control came out, since the summer, more people have been trying voice control and it's really worked well. But switch access, you can also use your head as a switch. It's definitely something to check out. It's a really cool feature. You can set up like your left. If you move to the left, you can move to the left on your screen or move to the next item on your screen. You move your head to the right, you can select an item. So with any of these features, when you're trying them out on your iPad, which I really want you to at the end of this, just make sure you have a way out, because sometimes you can get locked into something, especially when you're trying out switch access or VoiceOver. If you set up the accessibility shortcut in the menu to triple click the home button or side button, you can turn on and off these features quickly. So if you're in switch control and you don't know how to stop or go back to how you normally access your iPad, you'll get stuck and then end up, what I did the first time I did that is just YouTube a bunch of things and try to get out of it, or it forces you to learn it quickly. So just have a way out, but feel free to play around. There's a lot of great features. Okay, next, productivity. Who doesn't like being more productive? Okay, so here's a quick video on Google Tasks. So if you click on that blue icon on the left there in a Google Doc, and it's there for everybody, Google Tasks pulls up on the right. So I just made a quick homework list here. And this is how I used it with one student. They just keep forgetting to put their name, change the font size, things like that. That can be used across all homework assignments. And then when you check off things, it goes to completed. You can really easily make tasks, reuse them across assignments, and you can even set dates and times for tasks and recurrence. So if you have to read for 20 minutes every Monday night, you can set that up in tasks, and it also will sync to your calendar. Just a really cool feature. It's a very visual, easy to use to-do list that's right there. All right, I'm going to skip this video for the sake of time, but I'm going to send you this after. Just another video on Google Tasks, how you can use it in emails. So if you have a to-do list items in emails, you can drag it over to a task. If you have an email you need to follow up on, you can drag that and make that a task. So it really works across the Google environment, not just in Docs. I just like showing it in Docs because it's a nice way to dip your toes in the Google Task water. Easy to use, and it's right there. Most people don't even know what that blue button is. So feel free to check out this other video I have here on more ways you can use it. Okay, guided access. So this is going to lock you into a specific app on the iPad. So this is great for students in classrooms, at home, for all sorts of reasons. Let's check it out.
To start using guided access, I'm going to triple click the home button. Next, I'm going to enter my password customized through settings. Next, I can circle areas of the screen that I want to disable. For example, you might want to disable the back button or the ability to go to a different website. You can also disable other features or set a time limit. You can end the session at any time by triple clicking the home button and entering your passcode. With guided access, you can lock users into any iPad or iPhone application.
30 seconds remaining.
Alerts will notify the user when their time is almost up.
Guided access time has ended.
At the end of the session, you will need to enter the passcode again to resume normal functions.
Great. And you can also set that passcode up to touch if you have an iPad that has a home button or Face ID on the newer iPads as well. But it's a really great feature if you're worried about a student going off and doing something they shouldn't be doing or working on, and it really helps focus on just one task at a time. Or if someone wants to use your iPad and you don't want them snooping around, you can put it on. Right. So this is split screen, one of my favorite multitasking features on the iPad.
From getting your estimated commute time and ordering your morning coffee to helping you find your keys. Shortcut.
Just kidding, that was shortcuts. Let's try split screen again.
This is a demo of split screen on the iPad. First, I'm going to open the application Google Docs. Next, I'm going to slide up from the bottom of my screen to reveal the doc. Then I press and hold on Safari as I drag it to the left side of the screen. You can even adjust the size of each application by using the slider in the middle. Now I can work in both applications simultaneously, easily switching back and forth. You can even drag and drop images between the applications. You can also easily copy and paste text between the applications without ever having to use the app switcher.
So just one of my favorite features. I do a lot of digital note taking. I don't use paper at all for anything, so I rely on this a lot. I'm always multitasking with split screen. Do we have a question? I think I hear someone's mic. Okay, maybe not. So shortcuts. This video is a little complicated. I showed it to my mom before and she was like, you lost me at this video. So I'm gonna skip this for now. I don't wanna overwhelm, but it is something that you should check out. Not a lot of people use the Shortcuts app or know, let's see, I froze here. Not a lot of people use the Shortcuts app or know what it is, but it allows you to create custom shortcuts for things that you, multi-step tasks that you do often. So for example, you can create a task that you're heading home from work. It can check the road conditions, type your address in Maps, send a text to a loved one that you're on your way home. So anytime you find yourself doing multiple steps or going into multiple apps to complete a task, that could be added as a Siri shortcut. So then you could just say heading home and it'll do all of those things for you. So it's really cool to check out. There's a lot free in the gallery you can use, but there's also ways to customize it completely to what you need to use it for. Let's see. Yeah, it is really cool. So if we have time at the end, we can come back to this video and watch it. It is a little complicated, but if you have some time and you feel like you really want to check it out, it can be very helpful and make you more productive. Okay, notes. So we all know notes, but there's some things that notes can't do. I'm going to skip this video again. You can check it out later. I like how this guy uses emojis in the titles of his notes. So then on the note screen, it makes it really easy to categorize and view notes. He also pins notes to add them to the top of your list, which I like because if there's something you're working on that's important, you don't want to have to scroll down in your notes to try to find it. You can pin it to the top. Notes can also be used to save clips from a website. So let's say you're on Safari, you're on a really good website, and you want to save it for later. You can just hit share and then add to notes. So I have a note for all of my favorite assistive technology websites, or if I come across a certain topic, I save it to a note on that topic. So it's kind of like a web clipper in a way that Evernote or OneNote has, but it's already built in free to your iPad. Okay, another great productivity tool is Google Keep. So Google Keep allows you to, well, it does a lot of things, but it allows you to pull websites and save them, just like I talked about with the web clipping, so you can view them later. So you can have a collection of different websites. You can also highlight some text and save that text. So it becomes really great for research, because let's say I find a paragraph that's really great for my research project. I can highlight that paragraph, save it to Google Keep, and not only will it save that paragraph, but it'll also tell me where it came from with a link back to the website. So that's just one thing. You can also create sticky notes, to-do lists. It's very wide use tool, but definitely something to check out. And if you're researching, it's a great tool for that purpose. Let's see. All right, so we did Siri shortcuts, screen time. So with screen time, you can set app limits. So let's say you want a student or child to only be on, or yourself, YouTube for 20 minutes a day. So you can set screen time limit to 20 minutes. Then however they use that 20 minutes in that day, as soon as the time is up, they can't use that app for the rest of the day. There's going to be apps that you can always allow. So opposite, you can block all of the apps and just always allow a couple apps. So it's kind of like guided access, just a little different. Screen time is also really helpful to see how much time you're actually spending in an app, how much time you're spending text messaging in a day. I always find it interesting to look at the end of the day, like, what did I spend my most amount of time in today? It's usually Safari, but it's another great feature you can use. And then if you have a home network set up with your kids, you can also set device limits on their device from yours. Okay, reminders is just a very overlooked, great tool. So you can create simple to-do list tasks and check them off, just like in Google Tasks I showed you before. You can set it to be time-based, repeated events. You can also set it for a location, which I love this feature. So if I need to do something when I get home, like buy more dog food, I'll put in a reminder, and then as soon as I get home, it alerts me on my phone that I need to do that specific thing. So you can do the same thing, I mean, to any location really. So the location-based reminders is a cool feature that not a lot of people know about or use often in reminders. Okay, reading. So first I'm going to show you select to speak on the Chromebook.
To explore. The first way I can use select to speak is to hold down the search key and then use the touchpad or mouse to click and drag a box around the content that I want read aloud. For reference, I like to hold my thumb down on the touchpad and use my index finger to then drag a box. If I just want to read one line aloud, I can hold down search and then just click that line.
Everyone should be able to access and enjoy the web.
I can press Control to stop speech at any time. A second way to use this feature is to use the Select to Speak button that appears in the lower right of the screen when the feature is on. It looks like a little sound icon with audio waves. I can click or tap that button with my finger and then similarly use my touchpad to drag a box, or even use my finger to drag a box if I'm on a touchscreen Chromebook.
Developers and publishers, information and resources to help you develop accessible products and apps.
All right. So as you can hear, it's not very natural sounding. You can buy other voices. I find the Chrome voices just kind of sound robotic, but it's still a great feature. And if you need something quickly read, it can do that. And try out other voices. There might be one you like. And there are a lot of different programs, extensions that'll do this, maybe better for you in a better voice that you like, but this is the free built-in version and it works just fine. So this is the same thing on the iPad. So let me show you.
As you can see, this website has a lot going on. The ads and buttons.
Keep switching like that. All right, let's speech controller on the iPad. There we go. So in this clip, I'm just going to highlight some text and then click speak.
Assistive technology is any device, software, or equipment that helps people work around their challenges.
So great for when you want to read just a little specific view. Now I'm going to swipe down with two fingers.
Address, understood.org. Secure and validated connection. Assistive technology for learning. What you need to know, technology is everywhere these days. But did you know that there are specific tech tools that can help people who learn and think differently? These tools, called assistive technology, or AT, are often inexpensive and easy to use.
So that's a speech controller that automatically hides for you, so it's not in your way. There's different features on that toolbar. You can speed up, slow down. You can click on the hand if you want to just click on the screen where you want it to read while the speech controller is active. And the one thing I like about this clip is how it said at. So if there is something that you read often, like jargon, acronym, you can change that so it'll read assistive technology instead of reading at. So in settings, you can set up custom speech replacements, which is a really great tool, especially with technical jargon. Instead of reading it as a bunch of letters that doesn't make sense, you can just switch it out and have it read the full word for you. Okay. And I just started the speech controller by swiping down with two fingers on the screen, and it's just going to read everything on the screen. So this is really useful. I use it all the time, especially when I'm driving. If I want to read an article, but I'm in the car, I'll just swipe down with two fingers on my phone. It's plugged into my Bluetooth, and I can listen to the article as I'm driving. So there are a lot of different ways you can.
Hello?
Hi.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know if I was on. There are some comments in chat I just wanted to mention.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you like the videos. Okay, so when you drag a box over an image, if it's a tagged image, like it has alt text, meaning the person who put that there or made that website properly made it accessible, it'll read the description of that image. But if it's not, which unfortunately a lot are not, it's not going to read anything. And yes, you're all going to have a copy of this presentation. So as soon as we're done, I'm going to put it up there for you. I just didn't want anyone to view it ahead of time instead of coming to see me today. So you'll have it after here, and all the videos will be in here too. So please feel free to check it out. I know I'm going over a lot in a short time. Okay. And then if you have a question, we're going to have some little bit of time at the end. let's try to get through. So, all right, Safari Reader.
As you can see, this website has a lot going on. The ads and buttons make it hard to focus on reading the article. By clicking on the A symbol on the address bar, I am able to activate Safari Reader. This feature cleans up the web page and leaves only the text and images relevant to the article. I can adjust the color, font, and text size for easier reading. You can save your settings so that Reader View opens up every time you visit that web page. This setting is available on most websites on your iPhone or iPad, and you can start using it today.
Okay. So like I said in the video, it doesn't work on all websites, but I would say 90% of the time it does work. And I don't know how it does it. It just clears out all the ads and junk and just keeps the pictures and information relevant to that article. But it's just a great feature that not a lot of people know is there, and it's on your phone or iPad, just a little A symbol on the top. All right, great. So in Chrome, I showed you Select to Speak. There is a screen reader called ChromeVox that will read every single item on the screen. So this is for someone who is blind or low vision and needs everything read. So buttons, menus. It can be a little overwhelming if you don't need it read all the time, but it is on there. There are better screen readers. So if you need a screen reader, I would look at a different device than a Chromebook, but if Chromebook's what you have, we work with what we have, and it does have a screen reader built into it and accessibility features. And then the highlight cursor and text, as it's speaking, it highlights the words as you saw in the video before. You can customize how that looks and how the text looks also when you're reading. So speak screen, that's actually, I did show you that before on the iPad. Speak screen is when I swipe down with 2 fingers and it just spoke the entire screen. These kind of all go together. And then there is a screen reader VoiceOver on the iPad, which I think is, Apple makes the best screen readers, in my opinion. It's easy to use. And again, if you want to check this out, just be sure to know how to get you right out, because how you use your iPad is going to be different when you have a screen reader on. So for example, where you normally single tap on an app just to open it, you now have to double tap on an app to open it. So there are a different set of gestures you would be learning if you're using VoiceOver, but please check it out and just know double tap when in doubt and have a way out. Okay, writing.
New paragraph. Ingredients. Apply heading 1. New line. Insert bullet list. 1/2 bag of chocolate chips. New line. 1 cup of flour. New line. 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. New line. 1/2 cup of butter. Select cup of butter. Avocado. Resume with dads. Bold. Healthier. Smiley face.
All right, so by now, a lot of people know about Google Voice Typing, but primarily how I see people using it is once they go to the up at the top, if you don't know how to get to it, you click on Tools and then just click on Voice Typing. So how I see people using it is that they click on the record button, they speak a sentence, they click on the record button again. So I like this video because it shows that you can edit text while you're speaking, and it seamlessly allows you to create without having to stop. So you can create headings, bullet lists, you can go back to a specific word and change it, you can make things bold. So if you're someone, or you know someone, a student or child of yours, friend, colleague, uses Google Voice Typing, it's definitely worth to check out the different commands that they can start using, and then gradually start using more of them. Then it becomes like a fluid note-taking experience, like this dad's chocolate chip recipe man. Okay, so for dictation, regular dictation, so if you are on your iPad and you are on a regular keyboard, like let's say in a text message or note, and you click on that little microphone button in the corner, it's just gonna read what you're saying and type it out. There are no frills. You can add periods, you can add exclamation points, but you can't say select dad, replace that. So dictation by itself is a little more limited. If someone's using dictation a lot and they're using it on their iPad to compose a lot of their written material, it'd be worth checking out using dictation with voice control, and you'll see why here.
Start speaking. By the way, comma, cake or flan, period. Don't forget to include punctuation as well. Oops, need to delete something? Delete previous character. This command will delete the last character you entered. You can also delete your last dictation by saying, undo that. Let's try again. Question mark. To edit something at the very beginning of a text field or document, you can move the cursor. Move to beginning. Oh, ellipses. That's better. Tap send. Voice control allows you to edit existing text and make even more corrections. Let's add a new item to this note. Main activity, party clown. You can easily replace a word or phrase if you change your mind. Replace party clown with giant piñata. Need to make another correction? Voice control understands commands like move up 2 lines. Select previous word. Capitalize that.
All right, so this really just allows you to expand dictation on, let's see, we got a chat. It is available in other languages on the iPad as well. Good question. Let's see, we have 5 minutes, thank you. I think we're okay. These are short, we're almost done.
Now when it's time to enter text, your device will read back each word as you type it.
See, you. There. Smiling face with sunglasses.
Type out loud.
All right, great. So that was typing feedback where you're just hearing words typed. This can be extremely helpful for people when they're typing to hear the mistakes as they're making it, especially if you're constantly looking up and down from the keyboard. It's helpful to hear those mistakes so you can edit as you go. And then here's just another quick example of typing feedback by letter too.
Capital H, E, L, L, O, hello. Cap O, W, wow. T, H, I, S, O, O, L, cool.
I love the inflection he has, like, wow, this is cool. Like, makes it more natural sounding, and that's just built-in voice. I didn't change or do anything to that voice on the iPad. So this is something I really wish the Chromebook had, because I think it would help a lot of students who are starting to type. Just hearing the characters, hearing the words, make it a lot easier as you're typing, because you can hear those mistakes and it speeds up the editing process a lot. Okay, they both offer dictionaries as well. Word prediction on the iPad, as you're typing, words are gonna appear that you can click on. It also has emoji prediction too. And then a newer feature is slide to type. So if you're just typing on your iPad, you can put your finger down and slide it on the keyboard, and it's gonna automatically stop at each letter that you move to the next one at. So it's something to try. You just slide your finger towards the letters of a word and it'll type it. It's not for everyone, but new feature that's cool, check out. All right, so woo, we made it just in time. Woo, got through everything. So I put in the ends of these slides, we'll go back to questions in a second. So at the end, I put some extra productivity tools, extra reading tools, and extra writing tools. These are either extensions, add-on, not necessarily built in. Most of them are free. Just some of my favorite tools to check out. But let's go back so we can answer any unanswered questions. Not all at once. Hopefully I answered enough throughout.
Hi, are you able to hear me?
Hi, yes, I can.
Hi, I am actually listening to you in the car, so I didn't really get to see the demonstration, so please forgive me if this was covered, but when you had the feedback for each letter or each word, what is the setting on the iPad to turn that on?
So let me walk you through. So you're going to go to
Is it spoken
accessibility.
feedback? Is that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, spoken feedback. So you can click, it's either characters, it literally says in there, and in one of the videos I showed you, it actually walks you through it step by step. I kind of fast forwarded that part, but if you go to
that's
the,
fine.
yeah, if you go to the slides, it'll walk you through it. There's
Perfect.
also an option with speaking word predictions too, so it'll only speak to you predicted words. So there's a bunch to
Thank
check
you so
out.
much.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. Oh, good question. How do you exit split screen? So to exit split screen, you're just going to click on the top or the bottom of one of those apps and you just drag it down to kind of where the dock is, or you can kind of flick it up and away. So there are a few ways. You could also take the slider in the middle of the screen and slide it all the way to the left, and it just gets rid of that one.
I have a question regarding Google Voice.
Yep.
What if the phrase is there multiple times? Does it go back to the last version of that phrase, for example, to highlight? How would it then differentiate, and what is the rule?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think it goes to the closest one to the cursor. So then you would have to say it again to go to a previous one, but I haven't experienced that yet. It's something I'm going to try out. And if you send me an email, I'll let you know how it goes, but good question, because I'm not sure.
Hey, Alexandra.
Hi.
Great session. I missed a portion of it, but what I saw was pretty fascinating.
Great.
I would like for you to answer the eternal question, if you didn't already in the session, Chromebook or iPad, what to buy for a student?
I'm all the way iPad. So I use Apple products, my computers, Mac, Apple, iPhone, iPad. I just feel like the iPad is the most versatile. And even if they're using Chrome apps in school, like you can get all of the Google apps on the iPad as well. I just think it's easier to use. You can handwrite too. I use a lot, I do a lot of like digital note taking with Notability. It's an app I mentioned on the last page. So I think iPad, but it's totally up to you. That's a great debate that I'm sure someone would come on here and fight for the Chromebook till the end, but my opinion, I would say iPad.
That's funny because I'm actually the opposite of you. I'm Chromebook as an assistive technology specialist, but again, I see where you're coming from on your end.
Yeah, they're both like great tools. Like thinking back, like I didn't have any of these in schools, and now that we go to schools and every student has a Chromebook, like every student has an iPad, they're both really powerful, amazing tools. So and yeah, I'm a big proponent of like work with what you got too. But if you're just purchasing it for home or you have the choice, I would go iPad. But yeah, it's personal preference. Great questions. All right, I think that wraps up our time. We went a little bit over. Any last questions? Please don't forget to put your name and email address on that Google Sheet. That's where I'm also going to put the link in 5 minutes so you can access the slides. I will put it as a PDF version and a Google slide so you can pick which one you want to use. There's links to videos in both. And then I also put on there a cheat sheet for Chromebook keyboard commands. So I showed you before, like the shift command with the trackpad can speak. There's a bunch of other shortcuts that you can use on the Chromebook too. So I'll put them on there as well. And then if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I really appreciate you coming bright and early to my session, and hopefully it was worth it.
Absolutely, Alexandra. I have one other question. May I please share this? I am a special education volunteer advocate for SPAN. I'd like to bring this to SPAN, and I'd like to incorporate this in our tool set going out and helping children like my son and our children. So thank you for this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do professional development workshops all the time. So if it's something you're interested in, you could email me too, and we can set up an arrangement that I could come out to and see if there's anything else, because it's just one snippet of AT out there. But there's plenty of other things too. But let me know.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Alexandra, where's the Google Sheet to sign up on? Put our emails on? I didn't see that.
Okay, so you're going to go to the schedule. Let's see. I'm going to stop share real quick. So you're going to go to the schedule for the day where you got here to the link, and then it says notes underneath it. So I can share. I'm going to share my screen real quick with you. Okay, so it looks like this. And then unlock the potential of your device, virtual room 2. You're just going to click on session 1.2 notes. And then it's right here. So if you scroll down, this is where you're going to put your name and email. Thank you, everybody. We can add some more. Let's add some more spaces here. Great. Thank you, Anonymous Beaver.
Thank you.
Manatee. Yes. And then I'm going to make this a link in 5 minutes, so you'll be able to access the presentation. Great. Any last questions? Thank you, everybody, for putting your information on here. And please check out our website. We have even more resources on there. And there's my contacts information, more information about our services. You can sign up there for our mailing list or put a star on this sheet if you want to join our mailing list. We won't spam you, I promise. We just send out semi-monthly newsletter. Just some new apps and things to check out. All right, sounds like we're done. Again, thank you everybody for coming. I really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. Hope you get a lot out of it today. Take care.